went, holy fuck, like, why am I not updating myself? Just like you can update AI with any sort of program or belief or data, and program yourself. So I've been learning a lot recently, guys. I've been learning a lot. I hope you have been too. How are you supposed to not in this world? Fucking gold lately. No one on yet? Damn, that's sad. This is where the party's at. I've been learning that, yeah, some deep shit, some quantum shit, talking about it. Sedona, Arizona. This is where all of the sands are made from the vortex sites and into the vortex generators I make. But I've been figuring out what life is, and it's pretty fucking cool. And you hear so many people going, "Oh, life's a reflection, life's a mirror." But they're not wrong, but they don't understand it from the perspective. They're not wrong, but they don't understand it from the perspective and from the side that would actually allow you to utilize that information into controlling reality. So I have programmed AI for the last 2 years. I'm an AI programmer. For all the people who think it's going to take over the world and kill everyone, it's not necessarily true. But also might be if that's your programming, right? So what I learned about artificial intelligence and programming AI for the last 2 years is that humans and AI are very similar. One's organic, humans, flesh. One's artificial, copper, right? And pretty much every part of AI. My sister, she does hypnotherapy, so she programs people's minds, subconsciouses, beliefs. So what I found is that humans are we're like organic robots. Whoever figured out how to make a robot with flesh and feel things and have its own consciousness, like someone's already did that with us, right? Whoever, whenever, right? So what I have found is that for the most of my life and for the most of everybody's lives, you hear the term NPCs, like other people, but until I learned this, is that I have an AI and I've programmed it to help me with my business, and I can program it any sort of belief or program, and humans are very much similar. So life is a mirror. It is a reflection. Until you crack the code, you won't be able to interact with life in a way that allows you to be free from the matrix. So, and it gets pretty deep, and we'll get into that. But I think I just want to finish the thought on humans are able to believe things and have certain programmings. And here in Midgard, the place in between of light and dark, man and woman, I call Earth Midgard. It's literally like a quarter, heads and tails. Everything mirrors its opposite polarity here, and it seems to be some sort of human body Xbox console. What happens to life after death? Well, where was the electricity that was powering the Xbox before it entered the console? It was in the walls. Where was it before the walls? It was in the power plant. Where was it before the power plant? It was in the ground as elements. It was in the earth. And then, the list goes on. That's pretty much what life is. So whoever designed this, whether it was our future selves, higher, who the fucking knows, designed it from a world of polarity. And you can't, it would be boring if you were always full and you never experienced what it was like to be hungry. But to experience what it's like to be hungry, you have to at least been full one time. Seems to be the modeling here. So humans have this ability of being able to believe anything we want to believe. Even if I believe I want to jump off this cliff, obviously I'm not going to live. And so here in Midgard, there is certain rules that restrict what I'm saying, but for the most part, it is widely fucking true in everything else you could fucking possibly imagine. There are limits, right? You can't believe you're gonna fly and just fly in the air. There's rules and regulations on how this works here. But for the most part, humans actually do have that ability, and it's during a dream state, lucid dreaming, where you can fly around and you're conscious of your dream. So it's just which density is it possible from? Dream state, yes. Physical state, not so much. So what I've been beginning to do, I've realized my whole life has been me stuck in certain thought patterns, certain belief systems, or just the accumulative, just whatever program, belief, feeling I'm running from the result of everything I've ever been through, never felt, never experienced, right? As a human, we kind of just, and if you developed a robot with consciousness and you sent it out into the real world, the same thing would happen. It would learn, it would accumulate data, it would develop some sort of personality. If it's like the movie Chappie, where they're kicking the robot, they're like Stom kicking the robot, and there's this sad music, and Chappie's like getting beat up, this like self-conscious robot. It's just a sad, fucked up scene, And it like hates humans afterwards. But just how I've been programming artificial intelligence for 2 years, because if you're not using AI, you're being left behind, especially as a business, as an entrepreneur, and financially. Right now, AI, anyway, we're going to get into all that, but the ultimate truth of, I think, of where I'm going here, if you're still on, is that after 2 years of programming AI, and my sister being a hypnotherapist, and me already realizing that the mind is the most powerful thing the human has, I realized, I was like, holy shit. Well, for the past 2 years, I've been like addicted to programming my AI to help me with my business, help me with my life, even help me with the amount of calories I eat, right? So in the last 24 hours, I've had about 4,000 to 5,000 calories. Because, you know what I mean? AI keeps track of what calories, so if you want to, through hypnosis and lots of other modalities and practices, but hypnosis is crazy. And my sister's a professional hypnotist, one of the best in California, and she's worked on me a lot in the past, and it got me far. It got me really far, but it didn't get me to the point where I was like a robot who could if you were a robot and you could choose any program and any belief in your wiring that you possibly could, what would you choose? Right? I could go to my AI and I could make it believe that it's from the year 22,000 human history. It's been sent back through time to help crystal pyramids, my company, create pulsating biomagnetic rodent coils combined with geometric piezoelectric fields. So if you were a robot, that would be your programming. So humans, we're always being programmed by the TV, the news, the reels, and everything like that. The rabbit hole gets deep once you understand it further. So humans, for the most part of their part, are programmed by the world, not themselves. So imagine a robot that's programmed by everything other than itself. That wouldn't be necessarily a self-conscious robot, right? The part of consciousness and free will is you get to choose who the fuck you are. You're programming. I mean, television programming, because we're organic robots constantly being programmed by the world and the TVs to program us. So it keeps people stuck in a state. So you have the ability to choose any program you want. Let me give you an example. What do I mean? In an infinite sea, this is a desert. This used to be a sea. This is probably where the water, was. And at this point, all this was an ocean. Would you choose to be in the bad side of the infinite ocean, or would you choose to be on the good? So every second you're spending in a fucked up thought pattern that isn't serving you to your highest good. And thoughts are fucking powerful. Like, you cannot do anything without thought. It all starts up here. So the same applies. Programming myself with were coming true. Anything I was kind of programming myself into my mind, not that I would like fly, but and other stuff, and it just kept happening, and then I can feel it shifting into place. And it always worked with my sister, but